Gabriel Mokwana is a social entrepreneur and founder of Life Legacy Projects SA. He grew up in the small village of Tafelkop that's located in the Limpopo province of South Africa and later moved to Gauteng with his mom. The Life Legacy Project SA hosts workshops for innovators and job creators, providing entrepreneurs with business acumen, training and an understanding of banking products and services aimed at equipping them with practical tools and information for their businesses. It's also centered on library establishments and the donation of study material. So to hear more, Gabriel now joins us in studio. Welcome to Change Again.
Thank you so much for having me today, and I'd also like to say good morning to all the listeners.
Yeah, all over the world.
All over the world.
Tell us a bit about your career background in terms of what led you to the path of Life Legacy Projects SA.
Firstly, the Life Legacy Project was established in 2014. Mm-hmm. This is after my first company, which was called Gabriel Mokwana Projects and Construction, mm-hmm. which was in the construction field. And that company, to be honest with you, was established simply because I wanted to make the most amount of money in the shortest period of time so I can support my mother. Yeah. And then obviously there's been some downs and the company failed, and I had to now register this one, the Life Legacy Project to say. Now what led to this was wanting to be a champion for my community, wanting to give back to my community, wanting to make a change in my community, hence the library establishment mm-hmm. part came in, and the donation of books came in. Just a year or two after that, we therefore grew from that to enterprise development. So the reason why the Legacy Project was founded was merely because we wanted to make a change, and not only in our community but also in South Africa as a whole. I mean, we have built libraries in Limpopo. We have been part of the campaign of rebuilding the libraries in Vuwani. We have given away 10,000 books. So this is all about giving back. This was all about giving back until an opportunity
So quite a switch
arises.
from wanting to chase after the money to now wanting to empower people in terms of what you're doing. What informed that, in terms of your background from Limpopo?
Well, I come from a family that is should I say middle class, mm-hmm. In a sense. I was born and raised by a single mother. I come from a family that was very much big on giving. Like my granny would just have cook things and cook food, invite children from around the community just to come and eat. So one of the reasons why I therefore took up that is I wanted to also be more or less like her. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was one of the decisions that actually informed me to change, mm-hmm. And be the change that obviously my community wanted to see.
So your first business in construction obviously has its own challenges, like you said. But what have been the challenges with this Life Legacy Project?
With all honesty, it is. We have worked a lot with government. Mm-hmm. Now you'd find that here's a 20-year-old, 23-year-old that is coming up with all of these nice initiatives to rebuild communities, to rebuild libraries, to give books. We work with politicians and find that politicians would want to come into the program to give a helping hand, but only to find out that the intentions are not good. Mm-hmm. We have had a lot of cases, especially from the minister's level, where we almost exploited because of political interference.
How do you deal with that? And also, I mean, besides the politicians and anyone you work with, how do you know that this is the right person to be a part of the team who's going to have the right mindset?
Well, how I deal with that is, I think your instincts tell you. Yeah. From the approach of a person that wants to come in, they will tell you. I mean, you pick up from the conversation.
Yeah.
So I could give you a scenario where there was a man that came to us, that approached us and said, "Look, you guys actually have a lot of potential and would actually love to assist you." But he highlighted the fact that there is money somewhere that is sitting somewhere, and he also wants access to that money. Yes, he will help us to achieve the mission or what we wanted to achieve, but the problem is that, and before he helps us, there will obviously be that kickback of some sort. So your instincts tell you, when a person comes to you in the approach and the manner in which they address you, you'd always pick up that this person is not here for the right intention. You know, and this is what we have experienced. I mean, I'm very young, and I've been told that the initiatives that you normally come up with is multi-million rand initiatives. I mean, we've come up with brilliant things. The challenge for me was always having to have all of these people come in with their own intentions, or with their own intentions that at the end of the day it just messes everything up.
And besides the team and, you know, the people that you work with, as you know, this is your baby, as the leader of it, at some point you want to move on to other projects or develop into other spaces in entrepreneurship. So do you have a succession plan in terms of who would take over from you and make sure that the vision stays the same?
Yes, definitely. I have a team of 5 that I've employed full-time. We have developed the module. The module of the Life Legacy Project currently stands. It is able to function even if I am not there. There's a new business, in a sense, that we've just established. I'm focused on that, building that one, while not having to focus more on the legacy project, because that one, it got to a point where it is self-sustainable. Even if I'm not there with the team, they know what to do.
Yeah.
So in terms of succession, I've mentored and I've coached a very young man who I believe has a lot of potential. That I believe will be able to carry the Life Legacy Project from where it is to where we actually want to take it. 2
pieces of advice that you'd give to entrepreneurs, whether social entrepreneurship or generally.
Always keep your head high and focus on what you want to do. Focus on your goal. It's obviously not going to be easy. There's obviously going to be times when you're going to feel like giving up. I mean, like myself, to be where I am today, it took a lot of persistence. It took a lot of patience and consistency. And in most often you'd find that people or family, you know, there's pressure from family.
Yeah.
The Life Legacy Project, I remember through its early inception, it did not make enough money in that sense.
Yeah.
So family would come in and say, Gabriel, why don't you go look for a job? Why do you always keep on focusing on helping people and wanting to develop entrepreneurs and doing this and that? Because, you see, there's no return. Why don't you just focus, just go look for a job. After that, you'll come back, and once you have money, then you'll continue with this. Because now they'll tell me that your friends are driving cars. Your friends are progressing in life. But you're sitting here, you're building this organization that you do not even know what's going to happen tomorrow, you know. So the persistence, and I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer, and I have faith. I always told my mother that, Mama, one day I'm going to make you proud. And sometimes she'd wake up in the morning and say, Gabriel, I don't know, Wanaka, because I've taken you through school. I thought that maybe after school you would be something that I would also be proud of. At least you'd go look for a job and whatnot. I always told her that, Mama, one day everything's going to be okay. So through patience, persistence, and consistency, I managed to ensure that at the end of the day, the organization and also her, you know, I've given back to her. And
so where can we find you guys? Is there social media?
Yes, they can find me on Facebook.
Yeah,
it's Gabriel Mokwana. Instagram is also Gabriel Mokwana, and also the Life Legacy Project SA. They can also follow the Life Legacy Project SA on Facebook.
Great stuff, and I'm sure your mom is proud because, I mean, you've done a lot, and one of them being collecting books and study materials for the children in Vuwani after the violent protests there last year. So all the best, and do stick with persistence. We need people like you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Gabriel Mokwana is a social entrepreneur and founder of Life Legacy Projects SA, and he's talking to us about the Life Legacy Projects SA. Find them on Facebook, and you can find him, Gabriel Mokwana, on Twitter as well. This is Change Your Game. From the African perspective, it's Channel Africa.